Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. Oh my goodness, it's sunny over here. I'm very, very happy about that. Good morning, good morning. I am the Badass Buddha, Lori Monaco. I am a teacher, speaker, coach. I apparently specialize in narcissistic relationships, toxic relationships. And so I work with women, especially 35 and over, who have been through those types of relationships or currently in them, suffer from narcissistic abuse syndrome, or have depression and anxiety. And I'm also a published author and coming out with book number 2 this year. So we're looking for authors. If you want to share your story, let us know. And I'm also a chiropractor. And I don't know, I think that's good enough.
You sure now?
I don't know.
Very, very, very beautiful. It was beautiful. Hola, mi gente, aquí con la Margarita, and welcome to Viva Cafe con Leche. It is our Tuesday, Thursday morning routine. It's just like anything else, and we love it. Who am I? Yo soy la Margarita, your sacred healer, spiritual coach, your end-of-life doula. I am your poets. I was going through some stuff the other day, mi gente, and I was pictures of when I was at the New Rican Poets Cafe, and just I was like, wow, I forgot that part of me. Your poet, your writer, your author. I am your artist. We'll be coming out with a video later today or tomorrow of all the purses, so you can see what's going on. I'm really excited about that. For those who I really haven't said it, but I will be also posting my audio book, 70 platforms worldwide of Soul Searching for Peace, a book of tears shed in print. I don't know why I haven't posted that, but I'm very proud of that. So stay tuned. And what else can I tell you? Nothing. Good morning. I'm happy for this morning. I'm tired, but you know what? We are here. Let's make it great. Share your input. Good morning to all those beautiful women that came on. Milagros, Kathy, Maria de Pilar.
And we gotta say to Tiffany. Tiffany beat everybody today because we were talking a little trash the other day to Tiffany. She had been coming in a little late, so Kathy was beating her. So Tiffany, it looks like you beat everybody today. So look at
and
you.
And it's Maria de Pilar's birthday. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear
Maria.
Pilar.
Maria.
Happy birthday
to you.
Yay! That's in my morning voice because I've had one sip of coffee.
Yeah, me too.
So, grin and bear it. And for those people that inbox me and text me about Tuesday, I'm sorry I wasn't feeling well, so I didn't have my show all day yesterday too. It was kind of trying not to talk a lot, but here I am today, and the show will be back on Tuesday, vale?
Sounds good.
This is Happy Women's Month. Understand her. Believe her. Love her, for she is you.
Yes.
Happy month, ladies.
Yes. Absolutely. Did you see the post we put up for Viva?
No.
It says happy women's something like we celebrate women's history. No, Women's History Month, and then we celebrate women every month, and then we have our picture in the middle, our badass picture, and then all the women in history around us.
No, I didn't see that.
So we are a part of history. Like we are making history, right? Does that sound good to you?
Well, yeah, and for the women who, I've had family, I have close friends, and I have people who I don't know look at me like I'm weird. I don't give a shit. I wear what I want to wear when I want to wear it. I love wearing diamonds. The other day I had the gold tattoos all on them because that's who I am. And I don't like fake or hypocrite people who hold back who they are so that people won't laugh at them or look at them or judge them. You know what? Get out of the way. You're sucking up my ear. I don't want no waste no time with you. So what I want to say is, there's a quote that the badass Buddha and I were talking about the other day, and I love it. Every time I see it, I never posted it because everybody has posted it, but I love it. And it says, well-behaved women never make history.
That's correct.
You know what?
Yes.
So what? You're gonna always be that employee, that mom, that daughter. Be who you were born to be, no matter how outrageous it is, and stop giving a shit about what other people think. That's my biggest pet peeve in women, is that they worry too much. Who gives a shit? Just be who you are, because I'm sure that each and every one of us is super amazing in our own ways, and we might have similar ways, but who gives a shit about who's going to talk about you? You know what? Sometimes when I don't hear anything, I'm like, it's time to let's give them something to talk about. Because if you're the highlight of somebody's day, damn it, then be it. You know who you are. So really, those kind of things shouldn't bother you. I don't give a shit.
Well, look, check this out. Look at what Kathy wrote. She said, today's my third day of silence. This is the first time I've done this. It is incredible. I've been having some incredible dreams. Yes, you know what? Good for you. It's not easy to do in your environment. There are silent retreats that exist, for that reason, that people go to the facility so that they can be quiet, because they literally leave their phone for the whole weekend right at the door. And so that's incredible, Kathy, that you're doing that. So good for you. Obviously, you can still listen and type.
It's wonderful. I always said I should try that ever since I read the book 3 times and then allowed myself to watch the movie of Eat, Pray, Love. Elizabeth is just hilarious. I honestly read her book 3 times back to back because it was so funny.
Yes.
Then the movie, I love Julia Roberts, but they took out so much from the book and that's why I hate either I read the book or I watch the book. I can't do both. But when she took that, or somebody took that vow of silence, she was working with somebody who took the vow of silence. I was like, wow, that takes.
It was when she was in in India, yeah, and they periodically did. Like they wore the sign. You can't talk to me.
And I'm saying, wow, not only is that courageous, it's like you gotta like pull the strength from your vagina all the way up to cover you, because it is hard, especially when you're a talker, especially when you're somebody that's like, oh no, he didn't. And you always have something to say, right? It is difficult, but I admire that. And for you to say that, and let me tell you, like Tuesday around 9 o'clock at night, I really didn't speak to nobody. Yesterday, I barely spoke to anybody. And I was like, oh, this was good. And then you come up with that. Not that I'm going to take a vow of silence. I'll probably die, right? Because that's all I do is run my mouth. But salud, Kathy.
Yeah, but to do it just for a couple of days is very, very refreshing. Absolutely. And
I think, yeah, please.
I've been wanting to. I've been wanting to do a retreat like that for quite some time.
She said, and she's been having incredible dreams, which is such a doorway into your spirituality. It is like finally walking into your birth gift of intuition, of enlightenment. So that is awesome. I celebrate you for that. Maybe you're just gonna edge us on to do something like that. We'll let you know.
Yep.
We would have to do it Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. No, but I couldn't possibly do it living like in my environment. I'd have to go to a facility, or I have to go to a hotel and just not talk, because there's no way, not with children, not with elderly parents. Like it's just not possible. But it's just, the idea of it is just beautiful. So
it is.
Thank you for putting it out there, because maybe I'll add that to my list for this year then, is to do a 2-day silent retreat in whatever way that works out. So wonderful.
This is your third day? Okay. And how long are you having it for? I was silent for 3 years, never again.
Editha. Yeah, that's
a different silence, but
it's different, Editha. And you know what? You're right. And that actually is beautiful that you wrote that. The idea of not speaking is that it allows you to reconnect with your inner self. And so for you to be, let me tell you, it's if you did like a silent retreat, like just for a weekend, 2 days, something like that, like somewhere, and just allowed you to go deeper within yourself, you would have a hell of a lot more to say when you get back, and really be able to stand up and just, I mean, you're shining your light as it is already, my dear. So you're absolutely phenomenal. So, but good for you. Good for you, Kathy. And good for you, Editha, for speaking up. Because you know what, listen, this is interesting. Hey, listen, you gave us a segue into today's conversation. Today's conversation is empowering the disempowering thoughts. And the most challenging thing about being silent is the thoughts that are constantly going in our head. Like, we are never truly silent. We are verbally silent, like outwardly silent, but whatever's running in our heads, unless you are really good at very deep meditations, and that takes a lot of practice, it's not easy to silence the voices in our head. And especially disempowering type of conversations. You know, research has found that, you know, we have something like 60,000 thoughts per day, and we're not even privy to most of them. And I don't know how the hell they figured this out, but I guess they did. And then they said that there's most of the thoughts that actually tend to run through most people's head are negative. And they were fascinated by this because they were wondering that if maybe it's a method of survival, you know, like thinking the worst so that you can prepare appropriately, which is understandable to a certain degree. But we live in a society where the day to day, we don't have to worry and think that way. We're not in a survival mode day to day necessarily. Depends on your situation, I guess. But overall, we can prepare and live in the moment, and we can live for our future. So the disempowering thoughts can be overwhelming to us, and they can stop us. And how will we empower the disempowering thoughts? And Gladiator Guru came up with a really phenomenal description on this.
Because I'm awesome.
Yes, you are. And she said, let's disrupt patterns in thinking, disrupt the disempowering past from stealing our present, embrace life, don't resist, affirm ourselves, don't self-degrade, knock out the brainstorm, do something, not everything, be quick, but not in a hurry, and unleash a positive mind shift.
Yes. And that's the important thing is we can do anything. We should not do everything. When we think we can do everything, we fuck it up. So know that there's a possibility you can do anything, because we can, but we shouldn't do everything. Correct. We shouldn't. Just because we can, we shouldn't. And that's where what they say, do everything but not in excess. Eat a little bit of everything but not in excess. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you. I don't know the exact thing, but you're right. That's actually a really good reminder, because we do that. We have that mindset in our society where everything's got to be bigger, bolder. You got to finish everything. You got to do everything.
In competition, you know, the worst thing you can say is, I don't care what anybody's doing. I'm doing my own thing, but you're not. So when, you know, yesterday I pretty much was off social media. I'm so happy. I'm just like, everybody's like, oh, you can't delete social media because your business, you know what? The businesses thrive before this. And every time I hear that, it's like, I just want to prove them wrong. I just want to go the other way, because that's just how I am. Because, you know, you get tired of the same shit. And then I don't know what's up with Facebook, but something that was posted in the morning pops up on my feed at night. Like a little reminder, someone posted. I'm like, that was this morning. So what do? I don't know who came up with that, but yesterday I was silent and I just came up with so many ideas. And it's just like, who was the asshole that said that everybody believed that people don't dream in color? Freud?
I don't know. I don't even know why they listened to him. He was always high. But never could figure that out.
Darwin, they bring up all these things, and it's like, first of all, we are as different as our fingerprints. And you get all these scientists who come up with one thing and then they make a Bible, and then everybody lives for years with well, it is written. And so I think you got to know yourself before you go into that silence mode. You got to know yourself and know that you are going to be your best friend in that. You know, a couple Tuesdays ago, I had a thing at night that said, have conversations with your superhero, because you are your own superhero.
Yes.
So throughout the day, like the badass Buddha says, you have thoughts throughout the day, especially when you're doing something, working by yourself. You know, you might be typing something in, or I might be writing something, but I have a thought process going on. Know yourself enough to know that you're paying attention, because only you can redirect those thoughts. You know, and just whenever there's a bad thought, replace it with a good thought. Sometimes, like Margie, here we go again, and I laugh with myself and my 4 personalities. We're cool like that. Do they come in? Of course they come in. Those thoughts are going to come in as part of our nature, it's part of being human. That if something good is happening, wait for it, because the ground's going to open up, right? How many of us have lived that way for so many years? So we just gotta learn ourselves, and that's what these shows are about here. It's about wanting to get to know that phenomenal you that we have buried in because of society, because of those stupid articles that have us convinced that we're no good, that we're second-class citizens. And for us Latinas and Black women, then we're considered second-class citizens to the second-class citizens. So where the fuck are we in line? So you know what? Just focus on being the best version of you can be, whether you're white, black, yellow, or purple. It doesn't matter. What matters is you stay true to your values. You believe in what it is you're doing. If you're not believing in it, then get yourself a tribe and say, listen, what do you think about this? And I'm kind of iffy on it. They're going to say, do it. Do it, badass Buddha. You know, you talk about that all the time. Just do it. And that's what we need sometimes. So that's what we got to do, because we need to empower the disempowering thoughts that we have allowed to fester up here. Carry on. We got to bring that, Christine.
All right. Well, listen, we want to get our guest on, so let's quickly do our intention
Morning,
and our
Chanel.
mantra, right? So let's set our intention for today. As always, our intention for today is to be intentional and
grateful.
Yes. So be intentional, be grateful. Our mantra, get ready. Here we go. I am a disruptor.
I am a disruptor.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am unapologetically courageous.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am spiritually grounded.
I am magically orgasmic.
I am magically orgasmic. Ole!
And I am beyond authentic.
And I'm as real as they come, mi gente.
All right. So we're going to have our lovely guest, Christine Bernat. Did I say it right, Christine? Okay, she's shaking her head. Yes. We practiced because it's such a French sound. So thank goodness I have that. I could get that pronunciation down. So let's bring Christine in for this fabulous conversation. There she is. Hooray. So Christine is here. Christine, quickly just introduce yourself to the tribe, and then let's get on this conversation.
Awesome. My name's Christine Bernat, and I'm from Orford, Quebec, Canada, so east of Montreal. And we have snow today, but all of a sudden the sun came out, so that's cool. And I'm very excited to be here, and I love this topic. Totally love this topic, because I as an intuitive healer, EFT, which is emotional freedom techniques, which I will talk more about today, because I love how you were on the thoughts. You know, our thoughts have such an overwhelming power over us when we shut them down, because they're still playing in the unconscious, right? And I'll get into that a bit more. And I'm also a Telera energy systems healer. Very excited to have done that 2-year journey. Before that journey, I had crashed, like totally crashed. I would say I was functioning at 5%, because my goal in life was to please everybody. So if you're listening, stop right now. And
no mas.
It's so important to just, be the best version of yourself every day, best you can, and take those baby steps. So for 2022, my mantra is I am passionate about being the best version of myself and standing in my inner strength so that I can lead others to do the same.
Take that breath in, breathe it in, drink it in, take your coffee and think about what you just said and take that sip because
Yeah.
yes, we have to, so what you do, because our mantra is we are disruptors. And with what Gladiator Guru wrote for today, let's disrupt patterns and thinking, disrupt the disempowering past from stealing our present. The idea of disruption, that's actually what EFT does. Like the EFT is disrupting our patterns of thinking. And any way that you can disrupt the pattern, because that's the problem. Like once you get it going, you start wallowing in it. And like this happened yesterday to my daughter, my 18-year-old. Everybody knows that she is challenged with depression and anxiety. And she put herself into this funk and it just kept cycling and cycling. And finally, like she and I got into it. I actually had to yell at her yesterday and it got her up and she started crying. And then she came in and we had a phenomenal conversation. I just don't like that it has to go to that level with her sometimes to just snap her out of it. And it's not completely snapped out. She isn't completely snapped out, but it's just, we've done a bunch of stuff. We've even done EFT with her. She's still finding what works. That's the key thing is that you're to disempower. To empower your disempowering thoughts, to get rid of them. You have got to find what works for you. And it doesn't have to be one thing. Like if one thing's working, you could add more or you'll switch. Sometimes it's working and then it's not working anymore. So let's talk about this.
It's like a diet. You keep eating the same shit, you're not going to lose any weight.
You're right.
Yeah, like eat one day just to get your body thrown out of whack. That's exactly right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I just love what you brought in there because, to get to the point where I am today, feeling empowered and taking quality action steps, I went through a long journey of being disconnected to who I was, being in trauma mode, and anything that I would leave. Like today, I know I'd leave my body. And so I wouldn't register it consciously. So in my unconscious, I had a slute. I still have a slute, But the point is that with the EFT, the thoughts that you had, that your parents had, especially if you're highly sensitive, between 0 and 7, and I'll say between -9 and 7, and -9 months and 7, because I've had a lot of trauma during my mom's pregnancy. And it's not that, she's a great person. However, she had learned to disconnect. So she intrinsically taught me how to disconnect. She didn't teach me how to be, this, the badass Buddha or the gladiator guru. That's not who my mom is. Doesn't make her a person that isn't nice or isn't, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the abilities. So on my journey to try and find myself, I met many people that were not good for me, including Dr. Lori will like that, the narcissistic people.
Oh, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're there. And their role is to help us. Their role is to help us become stronger. So if you are in these relationships or situations at work with manipulators and stuff, it's because you need to bring it back and find what it is you need to heal. They're showing you what it is that you need to heal inside. They're your mirror. Now, this may trigger people when I say this. So I'm going to bring you right into, here's the collarbone. And right here, if you tap, and you take a nice deep breath in your lower belly, relax the shoulders, hold the air, and then exhale. Can you feel a difference even with just one breath? And because if I'm saying things and I'm triggering you, I'm activating those memories, whether they are conscious or unconscious, they're being triggered. And if you're sensitive to the touch, you can just lightly touch The pressure of a nickel is enough. You don't need to be tapping. And this touches, there's meridian points here, and it just sends a different signal to the brain, and it tells the brain you're safe, but your thoughts are telling you you're not safe, right? So thoughts are fears, and fears are false, false emotions that appear real. So you can tell your thoughts, hey, just a sec, you're a false emotion that appears real. Let me just take a deep breath, relax my shoulders, and exhale, and allow that out. And this is just like step one to many. I mean, EFT has a whole protocol. This is a quick technique that I created for my clients between appointments. And from 2 to 99, 120, you can do this, right? Because it's so easy. You don't need a diploma. And there's different points. You can go on the sternum at the heart level a bit and just do it again. Just breathe in, relax the shoulders, and then exhale. And I do this daily because I have thoughts. I have this empowering thoughts, right? I'm human. But I also want to be empowered in my life. And if I have the awareness and the consciousness of these thoughts, I can release them right away. Take the hold that they have. But I also like to release them on an energetic level and on a spiritual level and on a physical level. So there's many aspects to look at in order for it to be like really ingrained. Yeah.
The one thing I love about tapping is that you do honor the actual disempowering thought that's there. So it's not like you're saying, oh, you got to go away or whatever. Like you're replacing it with something positive. You empowering. You actually honor that it's there, and then you switch it out with the opposite. So would it, like, if you're thinking of this one thing and then you take the opposite piece while you're still tapping. And I think that's the beauty of it, because like positive affirmations or things or positive mantras, people sort of say, I could say it, but I don't believe it. Like I could say, oh, I'm going to fail this exam. And people say, oh, don't say that. So be positive. Okay. I'm positive I'm going to fail this exam. No, you say like, okay, fine. I won't fail this. I'm going to pass this exam. I'm going to pass the exam. But the words don't match what they're feeling.
Yeah.
And so with tapping, it's connecting you to your body. And so it's telling you, okay, I'm saying I'm going to fail this exam. I'm going to fail this exam. And then you say, but then and it's different for each practitioner. I've seen multiple times, but like, you could be like, but what if I pass the exam? And I can pass the exam, and I know this material. And then all of a sudden you switch it, and because you're tapping, you sort of, it redirects you. And I think that's the important thing. It's that, like Gladiator Guru said, like our mantra says, that disruption. You need to disrupt the thoughts, whatever. That's how you empower disempowering thoughts. You can't, the reality is we have them, and the problem I have sometimes with that fear, like that mantra with, not the fear, when you break it down, what is it? Fear. What is it? Feeling. What did you say? I always forget.
False emotions appearing
real. The thing is, fear is real. It's a real emotion, and it's a necessary emotion. The thing is we have empowering the disempowering thoughts allows us to take the fear and make it into fuel. Like flip it and say, okay, you know what? I am scared, but maybe the idea of how emotionally charged this is overkill. Is it scary to say that I'm going to like leave everything and start a new life? Yes. And that fear should always be there. But to think that it's going to not work, or to think that it's going to be hard, or, I mean, it's always hard, but it doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to end you, And I think that's the beauty of it is that just redirecting this, flipping it, disrupting it. And I'll leave you with that because I have to go to the bus stop.
All right. But I think too that, you know what, when you spend so much time reading other people's words, listening to other people's words, and then you're going to put it into practice, you're not there no more.
Yep. Yep.
Because you're too busy listening to this webinar, participating in that bullshit, and listening to this, and going on Clubhouse and doing it. And then where are you? You're bits and pieces of everything you're giving your energy to.
Yes.
That's why social media to me is like, lately it's just been, and I've been like going back and forth with it, but when you're so dedicated to listening to what everyone else is saying on the same fucking subject,
Yeah.
you are displacing yourself. So you're totally disempowered. Why? Because you're no longer there. You're like a puzzle piece of everybody else's research.
Yeah.
And although I think it's important, like you brought up some points today, that tapping is excellent. Why is that tapping excellent? Because we're reconnecting with our temple. The spirit is not flailing in fear because we're like, it's okay. It's okay. We're here. Come back. So I love that. Thank you for that. But I think when we give too much to what everyone else says, that's why I said, like, there was a guy who said, I think it was Freud, I don't know, that we don't dream in color. And I'm like vibrant. I wake up like, damn, I was on the yellow brick motherfucking road today. Because that's how in live color it is. But yeah, this brings us back. And I think when we cloud this with everybody else's words, ideas, then it's like we're taking a back seat. We're so far back, we're down the end of the tunnel with no light.
Exactly.
So, go ahead.
Exactly. And I totally agree with you because, I mean, why did I crash? Because I was listening to everybody except me.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to reconnect to my soul. And I needed to get really grounded in that. And the reason why this really helped me was to calm the amygdala, but the breath also brought me into my body.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm in my body and I'm in my breath and I'm connected to my guides and to my, then I am me.
Mm-hmm.
But when we listen to everybody else, so how can you be you? How can you, like, this is a call for self-love, loving yourself first, before you can love others. If you have unconditional love for yourself, it's so much easier to give it to others.
There's nothing you cannot do. And in saying that, not only will there be nothing you cannot do, but you will understand and reconfirm with yourself that there's things you should not do.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of people today, just to be in the in crowd, will do what they have no business doing, feeling emptier and emptier. And let me tell you, I speak a lot on cultivating self-trust. Why? Because when we cultivate self-trust, we learn that unconditional self-love. Because we're not only feeding our spirit, we're nurturing our ego. So the trust is there. So the love, it unfolds. And guess what? And then we can listen to anything and everything and still know that it's not going to stick to us like glue because our stuff is pouring out like the rainbow. So we're complimenting everyone around us as they're complimenting us. And that's what we need to remember. Stay in your lane.
Yes.
Own your own personality. Own your trauma. Let me tell you something. You're talking about, I'm almost done with my book. And it has to do with moms. And you know what? You're right. Although the trauma our mom suffered with us in the belly, and then the trauma that I witnessed afterwards, a lot of domestic violence with my parents, my mom shooting my dad in the balls in front of us because he was drinking, all that kind of stuff. But she did teach us the best lessons because a man has yet to be born who thinks they're going to put their hands on us. Because she taught us, no, I'm going to go through it so you don't have to.
Yeah.
But she was presently absent in our in our childhood. And then it's now after that you realize she was teaching us through action. because she didn't know how to verbally teach us because she wasn't taught. But she understood, I'm here now, but I don't want them to go through it. And it wasn't until now that we get it.
Yeah.
That there's no more resentment for her not being there for us, because now we get it. In her death, we got it.
Yeah.
So what I want to teach people out there is don't wait until your parents die in order for you to get it, because that is the most painful. So the encouragement is try, and through forgiveness and everything. But I understand exactly what you're saying. And it does play a lot. It does play a lot. So you either become this weak person,
Yes,
or you go the opposite extreme and become the gladiator guru.
or somewhere in between.
Now, then you're working your way into that medium.
Yeah.
So that your forgiveness has been accepted,
Mm-hmm.
and you have totally forgiven.
Yep.
And there's no more survival mode. It's just, let's live the life we were gifted to live, following our purpose and reaching our destination, leaving a legacy, because my kids and my grandkids. So that's what I think it's about. But you come back to what you were saying, like with your EFT, because this right here, I think throughout the day, Iritza, everyone listening, let's bring ourselves back to us.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And just
and do it. Just
Yeah.
do it.
And when you take a deep breath, feel the air coming in through your nostrils. Feel it filling out your lower belly. Take the time to hold the air, relax the shoulders, the spine, feel the sit bones, and then release it.
Mm-hmm. Feel it through your belly and just wish that all the extra fat comes out in that breath from your belly. I love it. Hi, badass.
Hello. I was listening.
Hello. So I would like to teach you a technique that is called Is It Mine, that I created. It's part of my Snap, Set, Go. But as we're all energetic beings, right? And one of my main issues was that I could not differentiate my energy from other people's energies. So it's really hard to know what to do when you're mixed up with everybody, right? It's like having a glass of milk, and you want it to be clear, and you add 1 drop of water with your new belief. Is it going to clear the water it's not going to clear it. It's not going to become clear. So you need to dump it out, and then you can fill it with water, and now it's clear. Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been working on in the last 2.5 years. But the Is It Mine is really cool, because I'm going to stand up for a second so you can see. So you put your hand on your solar plexus or upper belly. And as you tap, so you can take any meridian point. If you're a EFT practitioner, there's so many. I just feel like tapping here today. Go with your intuition, or if you feel like tapping on a collarbone. And then think of something that just happened. Let's say you get a call from work or something, and it triggers you. I want you to, do you have that thought in your mind right now? Okay. So take a deep breath. And the tapping is to keep the amygdala calm. Notice your body. And ask, is it mine, as you release? And how did your body react? Did it calm down or stay tense? So you can do it again. You can breathe in again. Scanning the body in this situation. Relaxing, or these words somebody said to you, and exhale, asking, is it mine?
It is not mine.
See that power that you're getting back? Isn't that empowering? To know. Like, I have a client, she was like so excited. She's like, Christine, I tried it. It worked. I got this call from work, and they were like, blah, 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 blah. And she said, I was in panic mode. And she said, I just thought of you. And I went, oh, Christine. And she started tapping. She put her hand and she said, is it mine? She said, no. Well, there you go. She's back in her power. It was not her stuff. because as highly sensitive people, you can pick up everything. It's like humidity in the air. I mean, you can't see the humidity in the air, can you? But you know it's there, because sometimes it's like, oh, some people are anyway, can't function with humidity, and others don't care. I can't. I'm just dead to the world when it's humid. Well, energy's the same thing. We don't see it, but it is there. So if you're in somebody's anger that's lingering around in the air, you're feeling angry.
That's right.
How is that helping you know what's right for you and what isn't? So to be empowered, first, you need to know if it's yours or not.
Absolutely.
So
a lot of people don't believe that. Like if somebody walks into your home with a nasty attitude, their energy's off. It's dark, whether they're having dark thoughts, they just had an argument, or they're angry at someone else, and they come in your house. Energy is on doorknobs. And then all of a sudden you got to think, well, why am I angry? Why am I moody now? And you're snapping at your kids or at your significant other. And you don't know why, because you were perfectly fine. Think, who entered your space? Through a telephone call, through a computer conversation, or through a physical thing. And then when you feel like that, you must take a ice cold water, dip a washcloth, and go and clean every single doorknob, because when the hand touches, that energy's there. It's in your house.
Oh, I never tried that. Thank you.
Door.
Wash with cold water. Sage the crap out of your house.
Yeah,
and do whatever it takes.
And because energy is much more powerful than people want to believe. So you're absolutely right. Go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
It's okay. It's really good. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I work with color cards, and my color to clean the house when I feel is pink. So, whoops, it's upside down. So I just imagine a pink curtain going through the house this way, that way, and outside of my home, so that when I step outside, I will feel. So, in the middle of the chaos we have been going through, there has been such a heavy layer of denseness, and just to say it nicely. But yeah, so I have to clean my house out continuously, even though nobody's coming in, because the energy is in the air. And if I don't disconnect properly from the call today, and I keep some of that energy in, it will tie me down. So yes, burning white sage, yes, we'll take the negative out, but I'm not going to spend the whole day burning white sage.
Listen, sometimes
I need a few other tricks,
you need everything in your arsenal. Sometimes you need to have like a continuous big thing of sage burning. You need to wipe down doorknobs with the cold, visualize the colors everywhere. I mean, because sometimes it could be that bad and for that long a period of time.
Yeah. Or keep a white candle lit. I grew up in spirituality. And
Beautiful.
Cleansings, I either do the white sage. I make teas with white sage.
Oh, I will try that. I love that idea.
I made some yesterday with rose petals and anise, the star anise. Those three. And I make my own tea with that. But I do that. And when I go to bed at night, I walk through my house. And if you do not belong here, remove yourself. And in the mornings, I do my gratitude. I get up from bed and then I'm walking through my house, because absolutely right. We are living in the times of spiritual warfare, not people warfare. And that's why so many people are feeling certain kind of ways. And that's why you are speaking out on what you are, because that spiritual warfare is happening. So we need those spiritual warriors out there teaching people how to disempower the negative from you, because we're allowing it to take control, right? We're allowing it to empower us. So we need to learn how to disempower that so that we can stay empowered. Carry on. I'm sorry.
Apologizing.
Don't apologize.
She's your guest, and I feel like I've been talking too much.
No, but I love listening to people and everything. I mean, and it's an exchange of ideas, and and adding value to each other, which is really fun. Like for me,
Yes.
this is fun, So thank you. I have this brings me to, I have a light prayer that I like to do that Marianne Robat, who's my Talera teacher, and she's just amazing spiritual leader. And I love doing this with my clients because it's just bringing that light in. When you said we need to be connected. So whether what your soul looks like or whatever, or you can feel it or sense it or know it, it depends. I mean, and if you've never done it, tap. Because you need to keep the amygdala calm. Okay. So that's how I made it through this course with being able to step into stuff, because before I discovered I had gifts in 2019, end of 2019. Okay. So you could say I'm a newbie at this, but at the same time, it's my knowing that's here today talking to everybody as well. So I didn't decide what I was going to say. I asked my guides to be here with me and to direct me. So when was the time to listen? When's the time? Because I used to talk all the time. So no worries, Margarita. They've had to tell me to shut up a few times, and that's okay. And it's just a different way of living. And when I do my light prayer, I feel it, I sense it, I see it. So I don't know, like the comments that I've seen go by, I think you have some amazing people in this community. And would you like me to lead you? It's sort of a meditative little thing, and it takes 2-3 minutes.
Sure. Yes, because she has a hard stop at 9. So we have
definitely
to make sure
I have a group at 9. So
okay. All right. So yes, sure. Does that sound good, Gladiator Guru? How about you, Tribe? Does that sound good?
Okay. So I just have you to sit back, relax, and you can just touch the meridian points. Or if you're used to spiritual, you don't need to do anything else. Just close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in your lower belly. Relax your shoulders, relax and exhale. And in the next breath, we're going to breathe in from the lower belly all the way up to the top of your head and beyond. Imagine a beautiful light, ribbons of light, and that you can bring them down into you. And as you bring them down, I am the light. The light flows within me, and the light flows throughout me. And then taking a deep breath into the earth, the light grounds me. And the light surrounds me, and the light protects me. Use your senses to feel it, sense it, hear it. And the light informs me for the greatest good of all. Beautiful deep breath. I am the light, and I allow myself to shine right here, right now, through space, time, and memory. Beautiful. And how did that feel?
So when you said I am the light, the clouds must have moved, and all of a sudden this light came in through the window. It was so funny.
That's great.
Isn't that fabulous? Because I like right now it's like cloudy, it's like overcast, and all of a sudden I felt it through like my eyelids.
Yeah.
It, like get brighter all of a sudden. And maybe it didn't. I don't know. I have to look at the replay. Maybe there was no change, but that's what I saw through my eylids. So
beautiful.
I don't know. We'll see.
But that's good.
That's excellent.
And you witnessed something. There was a participation with you and the spiritual, the energy. That's beautiful. Anybody else? Carmen Nieves, you said yes, you wanted the meditation, or yes, you felt something?
Oh, probably that she wanted it. she might be, who knows? She might be driving.
Yes,
but
I know.
So
Kathy said it was beautiful. Great.
mm,
And Kathy
Good.
said hand clapping also clears. That's what I do.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
I say it in Spanish. ¿Qué quieres? Si no me lo va a decir, sacude.
Just saying that makes me joyful. And just that in Spanish clears it.
I think we need, Christine, thank you. I think what we miss in our daily lives is paying attention and taking deep breaths.
Yes.
I think we fluster ourselves where we're taking a deep breath and putting it out the wrong way. It's like we're expelling the good and we're remaining with the negative feelings.
Yeah.
And I think we as women who balances so many things, we need to be aware, especially a mom of young kids.
Yes.
I think we need to, even if it's 3 minutes every hour that we're taking out to ourselves and we're just sitting down and tap or whatever, I do like that, but taking that deep breath in. And you know what I think, to make it easy to begin with, just don't think about anything. See a whiteboard in front of you. Because that's what I do. I just see a whiteboard. I don't want to confuse myself with what I think I want, with what I think I need, with what is out there for me. So I just do a whiteboard, and then I laugh because I see a whiteboard. And then let it out. And let it out slowly. But breathe to where your lung hurts, because we don't take deep enough breaths daily to clean out the bottom part of the lungs. We just breathe.
Yeah,
right?
very shallowly, very shallowly.
Wow.
So
Especially if
when
you're
you
stressed.
take, and I'm a smoker, so I know it hurts. So when I take that deep breath, I feel it here. But after the third one, it doesn't hurt anymore, because it's like I'm
letting go.
you're removing stuff. Now that's physical. You remove the shit that's collected at the bottom of the lungs, but your whole body starts to tingle, because it's like you're cleaning out all the toxins with those deep breaths. And then you can start to then maneuver with the thoughts. But I think taking a deep breath several times a day, mi gente, do it. Not for anybody else, not even to gain what's a positive thought, because that can get confusing. You got to reach out to Kat, to Christine, because people they need to learn about that as well, because it can get confusion. Even the people that are spiritual and then they start this deep breathing and meditating, you don't know what you're inviting in. See, the spirituality I was raised in, you got to be very careful, because there's all these spirits that are lingering that want to butt in and attach. And now you don't know what energy you're feeling, because that's not supposed to be there. So you got to be careful with that. But breathe, mi gente. Take deep breaths throughout the day. How about 3 minutes every hour? For us to breathe and tap, touch yourself. Whatever makes you feel good in those 3 minutes every hour, you deserve it.
We put Christine's stuff is in the chat. So I mean, in the comments. So there were live links. You can click on them. She has a YouTube channel. We encourage you to be, just like we're tribe members. We all need to support each other. So subscribe to her YouTube channel.
Yes.
Follow her. And I have a question for you, Christine. When you were talking about the colors, I know we have like 6 minutes left, but when you were talking about the colors, did the pink come to you, or like you picked the color, right? Pink isn't the color that everybody should use.
No.
Actually, I think you should use your intuition, but it is a color that Marianne had in an explanation to another tribe member, had given, the idea. And I said, oh, what if, because when I'm driving on a highway, I would feel everybody's emotions, and it was driving me crazy. I don't want to be on mega highways that are 4-6 lanes wide, because it's like, oh my gosh, and then it's like, oh, and then it's, it was awful, because this was at the beginning of my training. And I said, oh, the pink. So I just brought through my car. And I just went along peacefully, because I love sitting in the car and driving in the countryside, but in the city, it's a big thing. It was a big thing, Even going to the mall was a huge thing for me in the past, because I could feel everything lingering around. So I have many different colors that I use, It's I picked pink because that's what came to me. And it was a reminder that I haven't done that in a while because I've been doing other things. So at the same time, you know, what we share and teach is what we need the most often. So it's really kind of cool that, because as I was talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I need to do this again. I love it because it really does feel good. And I can be in my office, which is in my home, and then I go downstairs and I get these shivers and I'm like, but I know I have some very negative neighbors, right? So I just clear the space, and I have different strategies as I evolve that I use. But yeah, it's about clearing the space.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can add one tidbit for your beautiful daughter that you said, that depression is pressure that you put on yourself, whether the pressure is conscious or unconscious, and it's releasing that pressure. Because I mean, I know I was diagnosed with that, with like, I had 5 diagnoses when I wasn't functional, right? And they just piled them on. And I was the girl that did Mount Washington. So how could I end up needing a sacrolumbar support to be able to stand up? How could I be able to read only 3 words and not be able to do more? How was it that, you know, I couldn't remember the names of items? I'd like, get the ironing board, and I wanted the vacuum, you know?
Wow,
way
that was
off,
really debilitating.
you know, and I wasn't 60 yet, right? I don't know how old I was back then. Age is not important to me. So, and now I'm back, you know, I did 10 kilometers of cross-country skiing with my dad over the holidays. I go skating. You know, I can ride a bike again. I can, you know, do all this stuff, and I can run a business as well now. So, you know, what a change from 2007-18 when I was non-functional and couldn't, you know, work, and the pressure that I put on myself to please others.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's
was
depleting.
so strong, and it didn't work because you can't please others. You can only please yourself.
That's correct.
And we have this thing, because I'm in Canada and we get lots of snow, right? Every snowflake is different.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember people's names. So this gentleman did research, and the snowflakes, each snowflake is very different. And if you play beautiful high frequency music, it's, you know, and if it isn't, the snowflake just goes. Mm-hmm. So what kind of music are you playing?
Oh yeah, it was the Asian. It was the Asian
Hawkins,
researcher. He did water crystals. That's what he did.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful.
So it's very beautiful. So what did I do for myself this year? I bought myself a heart. Whoops, where's the screen? There you go. And the engraving says, my heart sings. So my question to ask myself daily is, what makes my heart sing?
That's nice.
So that I can stay aligned with who I am and what it is that I want. Fabulous. And I can see the time. Yes. And this is a call for self-love to keep me grounded and centered. So find these visual cues that help you.
Yes, beautiful. Thank you so much, Christine.
Yes.
Bernat. We're so happy that you came on today. Right?
Thank you. And I would just add that on my YouTube coming up will be sessions that I have done with people so that you can learn from it. And if you want to work with me, it's my pleasure. So have an amazing day. And thank you so much, Dr. Lori and Margarita. It's been amazing being here with you. I really had a lot of fun. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. And we're happy that you were here. Have a fabulous weekend.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So that was really good. And I think a lot of the tribe really liked the meditation piece, especially so maybe that's something that we need to implement, you know, periodically. Maybe add that to it, is to just take a moment to breathe, because we don't do that enough.
Breathe deep, but in between any meditations, tribe, that you do, please do it on your own, because you need to, first of all, you need to remove we breathe in a lot of stuff. A lot of dust, a lot of stuff. Take that deep breath and make it hurt. Because what happens when you feel pain? What does it do? It reminds you that you're alive.
Yes.
Okay? So take that deep breath, even when you don't even feel good. Look what Chanel said.
And my boss, boy, that boss of yours.
What? So yeah, do that. Take the time. Even if you do it twice a day, just do that deep breathing, because it does. And it you know what? It clears your mind. It really, you take that deep breath and you almost feel like you're going to faint because you haven't taken a deep breath in a while. So you got to adjust to it a couple times. Take that deep breath. You're like, whoa, what's up? You're clearing your brain. So
And your brain needs oxygen.
Yeah.
Your brain actually takes up most of the, like it always gets its oxygen first, the rest of the body is after. And so if you're feeling, kind of stressed or cloudy, or, you can't focus, take some deep breaths in. Because we shallow breathe a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We hold our breath a lot.
Then we get angry, and then we're dispelling whatever else is in there, and then we're drained, and we don't know why. Breathe until it hurts and do it for you. And I'm glad you said that about that, because also when you go in the shower, what's the first thing we do when we go in the shower? We put our head in the water, right? They say that shocks our body. They said put your body in first, and then
I think I put my body in first. Yeah, I do, and then I dip my head back.
Yeah, and then put your. I always go in, and it's always my face and then my hair, and then I read that, and then I looked it up, because you can't believe everything you read on the first try. I have a problem with that. Who wrote that? So
no, you should. You should always check your sources. Absolutely.
And it's like when we wet this, it takes a minute for our bodies to catch up. That's why we'll get a cramp or something. It's like, So just pay attention to your body. Everybody's different. Meditations work for some, the other one, and then it depends who's giving the meditation, who's telling you what to do. This, the voice carries out a tune that touches certain spirits, not everybody. So, you got to try.
It depends on the meditation too. There's so many different types, so don't give up on it either.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm saying. You have to figure out which one is you. Look up on YouTube, listen, adapt. You say it, record it, and then play it for your own damn self when you're sitting there trying to find that peace. You put your headphones on and you're breathe in the beauty, Margie. And then I say that to myself. And then use whatever it fits you, but just do it. Grant yourself the permission to honor yourself. If you don't, who will? If you don't, guess what? You're going to be like Chanel. The boss is always going to mess it up. Honor yourself, what you do, when you do it, how you do it, and why you want to continue to do it. Because it's you. Honor yourself. Take care of yourself. I did that from Tuesday all day yesterday. You know what? I woke up feeling good today. I woke up saying, okay, I got a lot of stuff to do today. Because I said, I have to rest. And I did. Okay. I love you, ladies. I didn't see, our Janice didn't come on today. Hello, Gwen. Pookie didn't come on today. Come on. We need our men. But all you ladies, thank you. Kathy, I want to hear all about your clarity. Because I always pray for clarity and direction. Every night, every morning, I surrender. I'm up. I'm going to bed, whichever moment it is. Father God, please grant me clarity and direction. You lead, I will follow. That's what I do all the time. So,
nice.
With that.
Hey, my sister jumps on right at the end.
And I know my sister Connie was on. Arlene was on. I think Connie came on right when she was talking, so I didn't want to say, hey. Okay. Any last words, Badass Buddha?
No, we're good. We're good. So listen, everyone, have an absolutely, she said she was here the whole time. That's so funny. I didn't see it pop up till now. That
usually, you were probably doing the breathing or something.
No, it just showed it that it popped up on the camera.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying about social media. It's been kind of tricky. Everybody's on it. Everybody feels they can't breathe without it, but it's been tricky. Okay. The other day, something popped up at 9:00 at night that Francia had posted early that morning. So,
Oh, all right then. Well,
I was engaged.
I was engaged. Good. I'm so glad. So glad. Oh, my sister.
All the way from Costa Rica. Thank you, Lily.
No, she's home now. She's home now. So, and then we, Maria. Thank you, ladies. Have a great weekend. Yes, and
Yeah,
I
you
know
have
I
a
will.
great
Fabulous,
birthday.
Maria. That's wonderful. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate you. We love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Make it fantastic. And from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, La Margarita. I cringed. Pero, here we go. Remember, mi gente, to breathe in the beauty and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste. Have a great
Namaste.
weekend.